Hello, this is the Shaggy Sissy Pants Show, and I am Shaggy Sissy Pants. And today we're bringing to you another movie review. I did that in Spanish first, if you couldn't tell. It's not Spanish. Anyhow, I decided to watch Thor: Love and Thunder. And if you have not seen that movie yet, I really wouldn't waste your time. Especially if you like the character of Thor, no big whoop. The director was Taika Waititi. The main two actors were Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth. It came out in 2022. The length was 1 hour and 58 minutes. It is rated PG-13. For the overall length of the movie, I decided to say that it had a slow intro. Basically, I'm sorry I didn't remember all this, so I'm just going to read it verbatim off my notes. I hope you don't mind, and if you do, too bad. Anyway, and I was still waiting for something to happen after an hour into the movie. It just kept on going, and nothing really was like, oh wow, like there was no interest in the movie that everything focused on. It just kept on doing things aimlessly. The pacing of the movie was slow, super duper slow and uninteresting. Another story making Thor look like a sissy, and the movie just dragged on. Thor looked incompetent, and it just like whoever wrote this movie just didn't care for the character of Thor at all. The plot is basically a cheesy intro that's not really relatable to anything. Jane has cancer. Valkyrie is a mayor of New Asgard. Thor left the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, spoilers! If I was too late for that. So there's some screaming goats, and the rock guy is there from from Thor Ragnarok. Thor and Jane have do a breakup, or broken up. They have to rescue some kids. Thor gives his kids to beat up the bad guys. The kids come home, and Thor's now a dad. And that's basically the plot of the movie. If you can tell just from my basic description, there's a lot to take in, but it just kept on going. The acting, I said it was meh at best, but then I decided afterwards that maybe it wasn't bad acting so much as just a terrible story, and how they were having the characters interact. It was just hard to think of real emotions to portray as an actor. That's a possibility. The cinematography, it was done pretty well. The special effects or anything weren't overpowering. I would say at the very least everything was very crisp and clear. It was truly a digital CGI movie. All the lines were very just crisp and pronounced. The color palette was very full of all the different ranges. It was just very full of colors, so that got the most out of my ratings. The CGI wasn't that bad, except for it was basically CGI throughout the whole movie. It's not really any real sets or tangible thing. I think everything was green screen, basically. Let's see. The movie as a whole, basically it said, I thought Thor, I was missing my girlfriend, so let's talk and save some kidnapped children. And, well, that was very abrupt plot synopsis. The best part, I said, is at the end, when Thor gives children his powers to save everybody, they all have lightning coming out of their eyes, and this little girl holds up a little stuffed rabbit and is killing bad guys with stuffed rabbit lightning vision. That's probably the best part of the whole roughly 2.5 hour movie. I think 2 hour movie. We'll go through all the notes. Sure, why not? Camera person Amy says, hurry the F up, my arms are getting tired. That's what she said, literally. Okay, so there's gold colored blood when you stab a god. That looked pretty cool. It's like glittery golden maple syrup stuff. Marvel Studios intro sounded really cheesy and overworked. So Jane is more worthy than Thor just because she has cancer. Now the hammer versus Thor is Buddy. Wow. How did Maljorin, I don't know how to say the hammer's name, I always screw it up, come back together again? That's one of the things in the movie that happened is Jane went to the site of the hammer, Thor's old hammer, and then it just magically came together and whisked her way into Asgardia or something like that. Yeah, that's the screaming goats are able to produce a rainbow road that takes them places. It's basically a rom-com, which is what Marvel needed to get things back on track, apparently. Oh, this is a PG-13 movie, and they mention orgies frequently in a couple of scenes. So I thought that's pretty good that's something you might need. Thor gets stripped completely naked. So I thought that was pretty interesting, because I know if we did it the other way, God forbid what would be said about that. Everything was a joke throughout the whole movie. It was hard to build up any true interest or seriousness because everything was just laughed off. There was absolutely no need for Korg, the rock guy in this movie. He could have been dead at the beginning and it would have been more meaningful for the whole movie. The soundtrack is pretty good. If you like Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction as an album, then you'll thoroughly enjoy the soundtrack. So overall, I gave the movie a 2 out of 10. I really wouldn't waste your time unless you're a diehard Disney or Marvel just Disney or Marvel, because if you like Thor, you wouldn't like this movie. But anyway, that's my opinions on Thor Love and Thunder. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed telling you about it. I hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.